Africa, coming to you live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. As August the 3rd draws closer, the ruling South Africa party is said to be worried about the effect President Jacob Zuma will have on the party's performance. Mayoral Committee member for Urban Management, Rosgrave, made her stance known while speaking at a discussion among 4 political parties on their plans for the city after August the 3rd local government elections. Now, the mayoral candidate Herman Mashaba, COP leader Musoa Lekota, and ACDP MP Stephen Swart took part in that very debate. Gref was standing in for ANC mayoral candidate Park Star, and the EFF declined to attend the event without giving any reason. Gref also said that the Nkandla controversy and the possibility of Zuma facing corruption charges would definitely affect the ANC's votes. Let's get more perspective from Johannesburg, South Africa. CEO of Janto Media, Lucas Malloy, is bringing us perspective on the story. Thank you for speaking to us on Network Africa.
Thank you for the invite and good day to all your viewers.
When Mayoral Committee member Rosgrave says President Jacob Zuma should do the right thing, what does he mean, or what does she mean, I meant to say?
Look, when you hear every time the talk that President Zuma should do the right thing, it is talk that has been going around starting, when Nkandla met her, or he lost that in court. And everybody has been saying you need to do the right thing, and this is the moment for the president to step down after having been found to have violated the constitution of the country, which is really the cornerstone of what South Africa is about.
So step down would mean, I better say, do the right thing, I beg your pardon, would mean?
Stepping down. Doing the right thing would mean the president stepping down as the president of the country and letting someone else whom is perhaps viewed with a little bit of integrity to take over and preside over the country. It has gotten to a point, and we saw it happening over time, where it has gotten really to the point where the opposition parties, the man in the street, does not have that respect for the president anymore. The credibility has sort of been lost. And no matter what you would hear the governing party really saying, but when you look at the men on the street and that level of confidence in the president has declined very, very terrible.
Fill us in on how preparations are going for the August 3rd local elections amidst all of this controversy.
Look, I see from the point of IEC and that the elections have been proclaimed. We have seen also one political party which has been disqualified for not paying the amount that they were supposed, the deposit they were supposed to pay. So that the elections are on track. We will see the elections happening. However, what is a little bit has been concerning is the increasing violence that we have been seeing, which is related to elections. You would see that yesterday in Cape Town, 2 buses were torched and the N2 closed down. In Port Elizabeth, we saw people taking the leader of DA when he tried to go into an area, and that we saw Tshwane in the past 2 weeks, and that. So the elections are on track, things are happening, and that, but the concern is the amount of violence that we see springing out everywhere, and it brings a question to say, should the ANC lose, will they accept that loss in the elections?
Before I ask you the final question, what is at stake if the ANC doesn't win this election? How important is it to the ANC?
To the ANC, remember, this is now very important because it indicates how much power they have lost. Remember now they have lost the Cape Town Metro, the Cape Metro and when they lost Cape Town, that sort of weakened the movement a bit. Now if they can lose Tshwane, remember now we've got Tshwane that is up for grabs, we've got Johannesburg that is up for grabs, and we have got the Nelson Mandela Bay that is up for grabs. Those are the big metros, and if ANC loses that, it means that they are in trouble for the national elections that will take place in 2.5 or 3 years after the local elections.
Well, thank you so much for bringing us perspective on the story. Lucas Malloy, CEO of Gentle Media from Johannesburg. Thank you. Most people in Africa initially thought that the Brexit exit from the European Union, popularly known as Brexit, would have little or no impact on the continent. But as you will see in this next report, economist Jeffrey Sachs says the uncertainty around the Brexit will impact development aid and investment in Africa if the exit is not tackled, does not take place quickly.
Sub-Saharan Africa has achieved annual growth of more than 5% over the last decade, and foreign investment has more than quadrupled over the same period, feeding the popular narrative that Africa is rising. According to the EU, much of the equipment that contributes to economic growth and development in the region is supplied by the European Union, and its countries provide the main export market for West African agricultural and fisheries products. Britain's Tullow Oil has already ventured into oil and gas production in Eastern West Africa, with ventures in Uganda, Kenya, and Ghana. Impressive growth figures in Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo show how off-the-beaten-path countries are becoming more attractive for investors. The uncertainty in the EU could take focus away from what is happening in Africa's economies.
If these negotiations are prolonged and difficult, then the economic costs will be much higher. There's a lot of uncertainty now. Investors stop investing when there's uncertainty. They run to the safe havens. And so the longer there's uncertainty, the worse it is for all parties. So I hope that this process of exit takes place more quickly, within a year, perhaps. During that period, I think we're going to find a lot of preoccupation in Britain and a difficulty of focusing on outside issues.
West Africa is the EU's largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria account for 80% of West Africa's exports to the European Union. Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana send the bulk of their exports, including most of the world's cocoa, to Europe. Regional bloc, ECOWAS, made up of 15 West African countries, also provides an important trading partnership with Europe. ECOWAS holds a treaty in the EU under the Economic Partnership Agreement, which gives the African nations access to the European market. In return, ECOWAS will gradually open up 75% of its markets with their 300 million consumers to Europe over a 20-year period. Analysts say Brexit is unlikely to change the course of upcoming economic partnership agreement deals.
I doubt that there will be much disruption. Certainly, the European Union, vis-a-vis its outside counterparts, like West Africa, will try to say everything's normal, business as usual. So I think they won't try to disrupt that partnership agreement, and my expectation is that it wouldn't be too calamitous. Now, I'm counting on the fact, for everything I'm saying, that cool heads will prevail, that Britain won't face a kind of dramatic expulsion from Europe now, that trade will remain open, that people will behave themselves so that they treat this in a normal, calm way, rather than in some kind of shocking way.
Britain's exit from the European Union is expected to result in a 15% drop in the bloc's annual budget from 2020.
Also to come on Network Africa, the United Nations insists that more effort and engagement is crucial for the Democratic Republic of Congo's economy. We have more on that for you in just a moment.